Hey everyone, this is Casey from GravityKit, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get set up with GravityMCP. So this is our MCP server for Gravity Forms, and if you're not familiar with MCP, it stands for Model Context Protocol, and it's essentially a way for your AI assistants to interact with data from an external application. So in this case, this MCP server allows AI assistants to interact with your Gravity Forms data. They can create forms for you, pull entries, create reports, and all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to be showing you how to set that up, and then we'll go through some examples of what you can do. So you can use GravityMCP with any AI assistant that supports MCP. So in this example, I'm going to be setting it up with Claude Desktop. I believe ChatGPT Desktop at the time of filming doesn't support MCP just yet, but that functionality is definitely coming very soon. Okay, so here is the official GitHub repository for GravityMCP. You can go ahead and install GravityMCP directly from this repository, and there are some instructions here below. We're going to be referring to these in a minute. But we also have an NPM package, so you can also install it directly through NPM. So before you get started, just make sure you have the prerequisites set up. You're going to need Node.js 18 or later. You're going to need a live WordPress site with Gravity Forms installed, and you'll need version 2.5 or later. And then you'll need to have HTTPS enabled for your WordPress site. Okay, so to install this, I'm going to go ahead and just copy the command here. And I'm on Mac, so I'm going to bring up my terminal. Here we go. And I'm going to just copy and paste that command in there. And that's going to go ahead and install GravityMCP. Okay, so that has been installed. The next thing I need to do is set up API credentials for my Gravity Forms installation. So here I am in my WordPress site. I'm going to hover over Forms here and go to Settings. And then I'll click on REST API. And here under Authentication for API version 2, you're going to want to add a new key. So I've already got one set up here, as you can see, but I'll add a new one. Add key, or just give it a description, so something like GravityMCP, and then choose a user here, and then you can select the permissions. You can choose read, write, or both. So for example, if you want your AI assistant to have the ability to actually create forms and entries and things like that, you'll need to choose a read and write. There we go, and I'll click add. Great, so Gravity Forms will generate two things for me, a consumer key and a consumer secret. So these are the things that I need to connect my MCP to Gravity Forms. So make sure that you copy and paste these into a text file or something, but also keep them private. All right, so now that that is finished, the final step is to configure the MCP connection inside Claude Desktop. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up my Finder window, and I'm on Mac again. So I'm going to use Control, Shift, and G, and here I can actually search for a folder. So I'm going to go ahead and search for this application support folder. There we go. And then I'm going to click into the Claude folder. And here you'll see a file named Claude_desktop_config.json. If you don't have this file, you can go ahead and create one. But I'm going to go ahead and edit this file. So let me open it with my text editor. Okay, so as you can see, I already have some information in this file because I already have another MCP server configured here, but yours might be blank. So what I'm going to do is just paste in the credentials that I need here. So if you go back to our GitHub repository, you can see we have this over here. So it's just a bit of JSON that you need. You need to add the path here to this index.js file inside the GravityMCP folder. And then you need to add your Gravity Forms consumer key and secret here, as well as the URL of the website that you're going to be accessing. Okay, so I've got that all set up. I'm going to go ahead and just paste that in here. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and save the file. Okay, so that's been saved. So now I just need to restart my Claude Desktop app. All right, and what I like to do is create a new project for this MCP so that all the chats I have that relate to doing stuff with Gravity Forms all stay in the same place. So I have a project here set up called GravityMCP. You can click into that. Another thing you can do in the project is give Claude specific instructions. So I've just given it some instructions here to say, your job is to interact with my Gravity Forms data via the GravityMCP server. You can create forms, submit entries, pull reports, analyze data, and more. Of course, you don't have to give it instructions. It already knows how to do this via the MCP. But if you want to give Claude a little bit more detailed instructions about how to format things for you, or if you have specific requirements, you can add those in here. All right, cool. So now we can chat with Claude about our Gravity Forms data. So here I'm asking Claude how many contact requests I've received through the Contact Us form. So now Claude is pulling a list of forms and it's looking at the entries and it's seeing, oh, you've received 12 contact requests through your Contact Us form. And here's a summary. So it's giving me a quick summary of the requests that I've received. Okay, so now I've asked Claude, can you please check the grant application form to find out what the most recent application was and what the total grant amount was? So now Claude is looking into that grant application form, and it sees here the most recent application was Green Neighborhoods Collective, and it's pulled all the information for me. So it's pulled the total grant amount requested, and it showed me the budget breakdown and all of the other information. So now I've asked Claude to create a Gravity Forms event registration form, and the form should capture attendee details, allow for multiple ticket types, and send a confirmation email. Include clear field labels and logical flow so attendees can register quickly. Okay, so Claude says it's successfully created the event registration form. Now it's adding the confirmation message and email notifications. So we'll just give it a little bit of time to finish that. Okay, great. So Claude has finished creating the form, as you can see here, and it's shown us all of the fields that it's added. So that is awesome. So let me actually go into the site and see what that looks like. So here I am in my WordPress site. This is the list of forms that I currently have. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page. And there we go. So as you can see, there's a new form here, Event Registration Annual Tech Conference 2025. Okay, so this looks great. Claude followed my instructions, created a really nice event registration form. It's even grouped the fields logically here, as you can see, and it's split everything by section. So there's personal details here, ticket selection, additional options, and even dietary requirements and accessibility. So that's fantastic. And it's also customized the submit button for me there. All right, so I hope this gives you a good idea of what you can accomplish using GravityMCP and just how powerful it is. Go ahead and install it. It's completely free. Test it out and let us know what you think.